Hey, this is Karanja James again. Thank you for watching these videos. It takes time, takes bundles. I appreciate it so much. There was a video I did sometimes back, and someone came to me with something to do with spirits and whatever. But I wanted to say this, that lack of understanding and ignorance is very dangerous, and it can make you be not in good terms with your family or friends and relatives. It can make you be in a bad place with your relatives and friends. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. Skills will make you go places. Skills. So make sure you invest in skills and always invest in knowledge. When you have knowledge, knowledge is power. If you accumulate a lot of knowledge, you are going to get wisdom. So you are going to operate at a stage of wisdom. If you are a Bible reader, Solomon only asked for wisdom. When you get data, you analyze it, you get information. When you get that information, you get knowledge. When you get knowledge, you get wisdom. So wisdom is the best thing because it's going to show you the reason why to act and when to act and what to do. So the other thing you should understand that not everything falls in spiritual realm or spiritual things. So not everything revolves around the spirit or whatever. There's someone who told me if heaven was real, the Wazungus, the whites, the Europeans, the Americans would not told Africa about it. Because they were their slaves, you cannot tell your slaves your secrets. So if heaven was real, and I'm not judging, if heaven was real, the Europeans, the white people will not tell the black people about heaven. So put your thinking cap and let's get started. There was this guy, when you're, I usually say it, or it's usually also my thing. When you win, you celebrate. Because winning is not easy. Winning takes a lot of energy. So when you win, you celebrate. And that's what, I'm not into celebration most of the time, but when you have a wife, when you have a kid, you celebrate. There is birthday. When the kid appreciates, maybe get a degree, it's a celebration. When you get a wife, you celebrate. When you get a car, when you get a home, celebration. But only celebrations comes after you have achieved something. So there was this guy, let's call him Eric or Ken. Let's call Ken. Ken is a guy who was working very hard, but it came to a time that he bought his first car, a very rare kind of car. So what do you do when you achieve something? You call for relatives and friends. So he called for relatives and friends to come to his home to celebrate. But what happens after celebration is over? Everybody goes home. Everybody gets home. This guy went to sleep like everybody does. When the time to sleep comes, he went to sleep. But this new car had a thing. This car at 3 a.m. it started the engine. It put the power on. The engine started on itself. So to amazement, the soldier, the gate man, was very alert and he was wondering what was happening to this car. What did he do? He called the boss upstairs and told him that the car had started on itself. So the owner of the car wondered. He asked himself, where could the car start itself? And I'm the only one who has the remote or the starting button. So without much ado, even not without waking the wife up, he went down, he checked the car, it was okay, and switched off the car. He went to sleep. The next day, the same time, 3 a.m., the car started the engine again. Yeah, it started the engine again. The engine started running and started flashing lights. The man told the wife about it because during the day he had also told the wife what had happened at night. Do you know what the wife did? The wife grabbed the anointing oil. The wife went downstairs. He poured the anointing oil to the car, speaking in tongues. and thinking that everything had been solved. And they went to sleep. Like, after everything, they went to sleep. They had to go back to sleep. They woke up the same day, the next day, thinking that things would change. But that day, exactly the same time, at 3 a.m., the car on itself started the engine again. You know? The wife told the husband, you know, I know our pastor is very good in these things, and we can go to him and tell him about the story. So the wife and the husband went to the pastor, and the pastor told them he had seen a vision of having the car that would make their life desperate. So having said that, the pastor told them they should take the car for cleansing and for praying, for the pastor to pray for the car. So during the day, they took the car to the pastor. The car was cleansed. They prayed. They spoke in tongues. Again, at the same night, 3 a.m., the car started itself. So the wife told the husband, you know, I don't believe that, pastor. Let's go and look for a spiritual leader. You know, those people they call them overseers. So they took the car the next day to this spiritual leader, and the spiritual leader told them that they should sell the car because this car had been sent and had been possessed with demons to kill their whole family after 6 months. So that's what the spiritual leader told them. Remember, this is the second spiritual person they are going to. So during that time of desperation, something came up to this man. You know, the car starts on itself. They have tried praying for it. They have tried to go to the first pastor. They are going to the spiritual leader. And the person had to inform them that they had to sell the car. The man was not ready to sell the car because he had saved much, and he has gone through much to have this car. So the man was not ready to sell this car. During the times of desperation, the man grabbed his laptop. He went to the online service where he searched, why would the car start itself? Why would, actually Google gives you the answers. Every answer that you type on it, it's going to give you the answer. So the guy went, took the laptop, he typed exactly what the car was and why would it start off and on itself. So during this time of desperation, this guy got some very important information. That's why I usually say information is power. This rare type of car was designed for people or for a region where it's very cold. You know, those places where it's very cold, the car manufacturers always set a thermostat to make sure that the car, after it stays still for more than 10 hours or 5 hours, the car starts itself to make sure the engine does not clog. Clogging, this is where the engine and the oil, everything becomes a solid and the engine cannot run. So the car was specifically made for cold regions where there is snow. You know, like places like Alaska, you know, Asia where there is snow, like Moscow, like Russia, you know. So the car was designed for a place where it's very cold, and that's why after some times the car would stay still. The car would restart and would start itself to make sure that the temperature of the engine is at a good state where the engine does not clog. And do you know what happens when an engine clogs? It knocks. When the engine knocks, the engine is useless. You have to change the engine. And remember, this was a dream car. So the person, the guy, felt that it had been programmed by the manufacturer to restart itself. So the wife had told him that they were going to look for market. But the guy, after knowing what was the wrong thing with his car, he went to look for experts in his hometown to make sure they reprogram the thermostat to make sure it suits the region where he is at, so that the car does not restart itself at night, every night 3 a.m. So the guy, without even telling his wife, he took the car. The wife thought that the car had found the market for the car, but the guy took the car to the expert. So the car was made, the thermostat was reset, that the car was okay, it could not restart itself at 3 a.m. You know, in the evening, the husband came back and told the wife, you know what, the car is okay, we are not going to sell the car. The car has been made, it's okay. And they waited, actually they never slept that night. They waited until 3 a.m. to sit down and watch if the car is going to restart. But the man knew the car would not restart because the experts had reprogrammed the car. At 3 a.m., the car never started its engine. The next day, the next month, the next year, the car never started its engine. What does this story tell us? That not everything happens around us happens due to spiritual things, spiritual evil things or demons, whatever. Sometimes you need knowledge. Sometimes some things, you know, when you have a key is designed for a specific lock. So there are things that the spirit world cannot solve. Some technical things are solved by experts. So the moment I start speaking about skills, you don't tell me that the spirits, people do not sell because they are possessed. If a pastor or a spiritual leader came to tell me that the skills I have, the skills I talk about sales, they are useless, I'll tell him that is wrong, because not every key open every door. So understand this. Ignorance is very dangerous. Ignorance and understanding is, if you don't use it well, if you are ignorant and you don't understand anything, it can make you not be in good terms with your friends and your neighbors, whoever. So understand there is every key to every lock. Not everything is solved spiritually. Make sure you understand that. I know most people are not okay with that, but not everything is solved spiritually. The car never started itself. The evil demons or the evil whatever spirits had left the car because it was a technical problem. It was only to be solved by an expert, but not a spiritual leader. So make sure you know everything where it applies. As you fathom that, have a good day.